Hey guys and girls, welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, my name is Scott or Zephr, and in today's video I'm going to be showing off this Toxic Stall aggro team that I built. I've had a lot of fun playing. I've had some really rough matches, I've had some really fun matches, but it is more of a content team, so I would say if you're going to use it in light hands and have fun with it. Don't think you're going to win every single game with it, but I have had a lot of fun using it, and you know, it's using a fair few niche Pokemon that I really like, mainly Fezandipiti and Wo Chien. And yeah, as I said, it's a really fun team. It definitely does what it needs to do. It's very annoying for your opponent, especially when you don't know what Fezandipiti's defense stat is, and people are slinging like Flutter Mane Shadow Balls at it and all sorts of stuff, and it's just sitting there eating them. But let's stop rambling about it, let's just get into the team breakdown. Okay, so first up on the breakdown today, guys, is Fezandipiti. I really like Fezandipiti, I like its design, I think it's a really cool Pokemon. Fezandipiti is one of the new Loyal Three Pokemon that came out in the DLC, the TL Mask. Each of these Pokemon has the new ability Toxic Chain, which means whether you use a spread move or a single target move, you always have a 30% chance to poison your opponent, well, badly poison them, which is actually a really strong ability, especially for stally teams, like I'm half running here, and it's the main reason that Fezandipiti is actually any good. Fezandipiti doesn't have a really high attack stat, special attack stat, it's quite minute actually, but what it makes up for in return for that is having extremely well-rounded defenses. So my Fezandipiti's got max HP. All of this info will be in the description in the Pokepaste. It's quite bulky in the defense stat, and then it's only got a little bit of investment in special defense because Fezandipiti's special defense stat is actually ridiculous. Slap an Assault Vest on this thing, and it hits 225 special defense, easy. It eats anything off a 252 special attack Choice Specs Flutter Mane, which nobody is running, but that's just for a prime example. It's eating them at like 40-45% HP, which is insane. Just be spamming Icy Wind, Dazzling Gleam, trying to get those poison toxic chains off, because the chance for 30% is ridiculous. Obviously, there are certain Pokemon you're not going to be able to do that to, mainly Heatran and Gholdengo, unless they Terra, but you're going to be able to do that to anything else. I mean, Tornadus, Flutter Mane, Ogerpon, all these new Pokemon and very heavy meta threats that are running around, Landorus and Avalon. Moonblast is just another form of stab that Fezandipiti gets. Icy Wind is the main usage attack on this Mon, because not only do you drop your opponent's speed stats, but also you get that ability to potentially badly poison them, which is really bad for your opponent and puts all their Pokemon on a timer whenever you land it, which is why this ability is ridiculous and really good. And then I've got Venoshock on there because Venoshock, if you don't know, is a poison attack that does 60 or 65 damage. But when it hits a target that is poisoned, it does double damage. And since Fezandipiti is very poison, it gets stabbing Dazzling Gleam, Moonblast, and Venoshock. And even though most people are going to try and run this thing as a physical attacker, it's actually okay as a special attacker. Like, it hits Dazzling Gleam into Charm Power for like half HP most of the time, which is madness. As well as hitting Icy Wind into Tornado really well as well. Overall, this build of it is probably my favourite way to run it. There are probably other ways. I did try running it with Choice Scarf. I was very shut down quickly by Gentle. Thank you for that, Gentle, because we built a much better Fezandipiti. But yeah, this thing is a ton of fun to use. It's annoying as hell. Your opponent is not going to laser focus on it, and is going to laser focus on everything else you got on the field and just kind of leave this thing lying around. And by the time, most of the time that they know they need to focus it down, or it's, well, yeah, it's just too late. Like, Pokemon are already poisoned, it's already done its thing, and it either comes off the field to come back and do that again later, or you let it take the KO and you bring something else that's more viable in. So next up on this list is Wo Chien, another Pokemon I've not used for a long time, another Pokemon that's very underlooked because it requires you to play in a certain way and it kind of feels like a niche spot on the team. Wo Chien is a lot like Fezandipiti on this team. It's got Giga Drain, so that one, it can deal with Rapid Strike Urshifus as well as other water types and ground types, and give it more stability, just like Drain Punches for Iron Hands. Pollen Puff, so if Fezandipiti is getting weak, or say your Torn or your Arcanine, you can Pollen Puff them back up, get their health back up, and watch them just continue to wreak havoc if your opponent doesn't zone in on him as well. Leech Seed, because once again it's another really annoying thing for your opponent to have to deal with, and Protect, because the only thing that's whacking you then is Urshifu, and Urshifu's not really that threatening to Wo Chien, especially if it's Choice Scarf. Surgeon Strikes and close combat is not on the table. Leftovers to give Wo Chien the ability to regain health every single turn. Tablets of Ruin is a really good ability in the format right now personally because it lowers attack. And obviously Fezandipiti is really bulky in special attack, but it's not going to want to be taking tons of physical attacks. My Fezandipiti will take a couple physical attacks, but it doesn't want to, you know, it's not looking to do that. But Wo Chien kind of eases that up for Fezandipiti and continues to allow Fezandipiti to try and poison things on the turns it's out. It's really funny that these two work in tangent so well. Wo Chien's got the Fire Terra type because of Ogerpon running around. Water's kind of going to fall out now with the Regulation E rules as Ogerpon has come in. Ogerpon is by no means a broken Pokemon, but it is a really good Pokemon. And the Fire mask seems to be the one that's running around the most, mainly because it gets an attack boost, and Ivy Cordial Fire 100 base power move is OP, especially when you get 1.2 damage with a mask and more damage on top of that, which is just crazy. But that's mainly why Water Terror is probably going to drop off a bit now. Fire Terror is going to see a rise in usage because it negates Ogerpon from doing damage with Wood Hammer or Fire type Ivy Cordial. And yeah, you'll probably see this on a lot more Pokemon. You'll still see Water, like on my Fezandipiti. Fezandipiti doesn't want to get hit by physical attacks, so mainly for Urshifu, it can take like that at like 30% hit points at that point. But Wo Chien is going to be the best partner to back that up. Fire Terror works really well with it, and these two synergize really well, so yeah, Wo Chien. Next up on this list is Ogerpon, to no VGC player's surprise. For the guys that haven't played VGC, don't play VGC, or haven't played the Teal Mask, Ogerpon is the new legendary introduced within. It has 4 different mask forms and 4 different types. It's a really interesting Pokemon actually, so you can have it as just grass, you can have it grass fire, grass rock, or grass water, and Ivy Cudgel, its signature move, is 100 base power, has 100 accuracy, so it's a really, really strong move, and it changes type based on what type of terrestrialization Ogerpon takes on with the mask it holds. All of these forms get 1.2 times damage. All of these forms get a different style move that does base 100 damage, which is crazy, and each different Terra type advances a stat up one stage when Ogerpon Terras. So Fire gets an attack boost, Speed is Grass, Rock gets Defense, I think, and Water gets Special Defense. All of these forms have some form of niche. I think the Rock one's the one that's seen the less use. The Water is really, really good. The Grass is good, and the Fire is by far the most hyper aggressive, and that's why it's being used a ton of in VGC right now. In a recent tournament that was ran for Regulation E, Ogerpon hit 65% pick rate, I think, and it won 50% of matches it was in. It's basically the new Flutter main, or it's going to be in tangent with Flutter main. I think you're going to see these two running around on teams all the time now. By no means is it a broken Pokemon, because you can easily take it out. It's not bulky by any means. There's probably spreads for that. People are working on that, and it's a Pokemon people are really putting the time into making the best of right now. But, you know, it's going to take a couple hits. It's not going to take a ton, but it is going to do damage when it's on the field. Not to mention that its signature move also gets a increased critical hit chance, which is just stupid. But as said, it's not broke because you can destroy this thing. It's not like Zacian where like it comes on and it does mega damage. It always gets attack boost. You have to use it in a certain way to be able to get that. So yeah, it's a bit more predictable and it's a good Pokemon. I really like it. So we're running Stomping Tantrum to give it coverage for anything that kind of wants to be hitting it, like Iron Hand, other Ogerpons, that sort of thing. Ivy Cudgel is just a no-brainer. It's the best move the thing has. It's a signature move. It's great. Wood's Hammer is Grass and 120 base power. We've used this a lot on Rillaboom. It hits the user for a lot of damage as well, but it is a ridiculous move that can take out a ton of Pokemon in one hit, so of course we're using that. And Spiky Shield is Protect, but if something uses a physical attack on the Pokemon, and obviously it connects into the Spiky Shield, it takes damage, so it's really just a better Protect that Ogerpon has, so why wouldn't we use it? You know, it covers for Fake Out, Drain Punch, Landorus, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, Ogerpon is going to see a ton of usage. It's going to be on most teams from now. It's a really good Pokemon, and that's why it's here. So Flutter Mane on this team is using Hex, Dazzling, Gleam, Moonblast, and Protect. Flutter Mane requires no introduction. I'm always talking about it. I'm kind of sick about talking about it at this point because it's just such a good Pokemon. It's meta-defining. It does everything. This is a speed booster energy, Flutter Mane, so when it enters the field, it will get a speed boost, so it can keep in line with either Tailwind or other Pokemon on the field, so it can be going faster and hitting hard attacks. It has got a different EV spread. Look in the Pokepaste for that in the description. Those are there for certain attacks such as Chian-Pao and other calculated attacks. I couldn't list them all straight off the top of my head to you, but yeah, it's got a bit of bulk, it's got a bit of special attack, it's got a bit of speed, it's got a bit of everything. And the main change for this is we're using Hex instead of Shadow Ball. The reason for this is since we're going with Fezandipiti and trying to get poisons off, when you use Hex, it's 65 base power, but if it hits into a target with a status condition, it becomes 130 base power. So Hex is a really niche move, but it works in certain scenarios. So if you've got a Thunder Wave spammer on your team, or in this case a Toxic Chain spammer, this move can do insane amounts of damage, and I think it just fits on this team better than Shadow Ball does. So yeah. Hisuian Arcanine is another Pokemon that's picking up in usage because of the Ogerpons that are running around in the format, quite simply put. Rock typing is really good into this Pokemon, as well as a load of others, preferably Tornadus, Chian-Pao, and Ogerpon, as well as Arcanine Hisuian itself. Like, it hits itself for super effective damage, which is crazy. I was using Hisuian Arcanine before, other people were kind of writing it off, But now that Urshifu is kind of slipping out of the meta, Arcanine is starting to climb back in, especially Hisuian. It's got a better base stat total. It's a better Pokemon overall. It just has worse typing. But as Urshifu drops off, Arcanine will climb. Intimidate on it is also, as I've said before, a great ability. Being able to switch a Pokemon in to lower the attack of other opposing Pokemon is huge, and it's absolutely a game changer. It can make damage calculations favor to your way when they shouldn't in VGC, and it's something that everybody should probably have on their team. We're running Grass Terror on this Arcanine, as before it was Water, but with Ogerpon running around once again now, this thing can do huge damage to it. So Grass is the call, so you can take, say, a Ivy Cudgel or a Stomping Tantrum and then hit right back with a Rock Slide and do like 70-80% damage. Most of the time you're going to take it out. Extreme Speed for that priority. The idea is that you land a Rock Slide and then you Extreme Speed to take out Ogerpon as well as other Pokemon. Tornadus being another one that can happen to. Flare Blitz is another really strong form of stab for Arcanine. Does a ton of damage, very little HP cost. Protect, because Protect is always there. And we're running Citrus Berry on this Arcanine so that, you know, it's a bit bulkier. It's well-rounded. It's got a good HP stat, decent attack, decent speed, defenses, etc. So when it goes down to about half HP, it can get climbed back up if you can't boost it back up with Wo Chien or any other means like grassy terrain or such. That's another thing. Arcanine lines up really well into Rillaboom. Rillaboom's just got Grassy Glide. It has no intent on going anywhere. It pairs really well with Ogerpon. Yeah. And lastly on this team we have Tornadus. I've talked about Tornadus before. Tornadus is like the premier Tailwind setter in the format and every Pokemon format to ever exist, because it gets Prankster, and you know, whenever there's not many Pokemon that have Prankster, you know, at the beginning we were using Talonflame because you get Gale Wing, so you do get priority, but Tornadus always gets priority, so it's kind of silly not to use it. It also gets, you know, Taunt, so it can shut down other Tailwind users as well as itself and other support Pokemon. Rain Dance is my choice here because I mainly want to be weakening things like Heatran that are going to do damage to Wo Chien. They're still going to do decent damage to Ogerpon, Fluttermane, all that sort of thing with Heat Wave or even Cheat You. So Rain Dance is my personal choice. It also means that my Tornadus is landing all of its Bleak Wind Storms, because if you don't watch my channel often, you know I hate the Storm moves. They suck. So I've actually slapped Rain Dance on here to not only benefit my defensive matchups, but allow me to actually hit that move consecutively because I'm actually using it on this team. Look, I understand why I'm using it. The damage from it is insane. The chance to drop the speeds is crazy. The only problem is that, you know, it has 80 accuracy, so it could literally throw your game, your ranked ladder match, your tournament, just because Tornadus decided to whiff. So yeah. Offensive Tornadus is also seeing a climb because of, once again, Ogerpon. Can you tell how meta-defining this Pokemon is yet? If you can't, well, it is. And Flying Terror gives you that extra damage buff. Ogerpon goes down in 1.5 Bleak Winds, basically. So if you Terra Flying, you'll be able to take it out in one, if that's ever necessary in the game, on the board state, whatever. And we've got Covert Cloak because it's easily the best item on Tornadus. It means that, you know, if you get Fake Outed, Tornadus is like, I don't care, Tailwind. So yeah, Covert Cloak is an absolutely brilliant item for Prankster Pokemon, and it just fits into Tornadus really well. I would be surprised if many Tornaduses were running any other item besides Prankster Covert Cloak. So yeah. And for the team breakdown, that is really about it, guys. As I said already, this team is not going to win you every game. It is a fun team. I've had a lot of fun playing it anyway. I hope you guys do as well. The code is in the top corner. It'll also be in the description with the Pokepaste. It has a lot of good matchups. It's a lot of fun to just spam Icy Wind, Dazzling Gleam, and Poison things, and just laugh at your opponent as they get infuriated. The amount of people that I've made rage quit with this team is insane. And yeah, pick it up, have a go with it, have some fun with it, try it out. And yeah, Fezandipiti is probably the Pokemon being least looked at out of the Loyal Three trio, and with the AV and the ability to just badly poison things, I think that it actually has some use. It definitely has a niche fit on certain teams, but yeah, try it for yourself and tell me what you think. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. It's the best form of support you can give me. It helps me with the algorithm on YouTube, and I really appreciate it. Leave a comment on what you think of this team, what you think could be better, what you think could be worse, how you enjoyed using it, and all that juice. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. We're on the way to 700 subs now, which is absolutely massive, because a year ago I had 400. Now we're almost, you know, climbing up to 700 since I changed content over to Pokemon. I've been making Pokemon content for a year now. I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm absolutely, it was the best decision I ever made, and thank you so much for you guys supporting me, and yeah, I love you all. All the stuff's in the description, the Pokepaste, the team breakdown, all that sort of stuff is there. And if there's anything else, you guys can leave me a comment and I will reply to you there. So yeah, for now guys, I've been Scott or Zephyr. I will be building a proper serious Regulation E team. This is just the first thing I wanted to do with the new rule set and the new Pokemon, so I did that first. You'll probably see in the next couple of videos that I've built something crazy and something that will be hyper aggressive and stuff. But I just find it, like, I'm not going to say boring, but repetitive to continuously play the same way. And it's a lot more fun to, you know, experiment in Pokemon and play with different teams, not just be like Qianpao Dragonite E-Speed, or now Qianpao Ogerpon, or Qianpao Urshifu. Like, I get it, it's really, really good, but to me it's also kind of boring in a way, and I like building with other Pokemon that are really interesting, have different base stat distributions, and fit other roles on teams. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching the video. I appreciate you guys. We'll get into some battles now, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. Look at his little top knot. Oh, the taunt is here. Okay, that's fine. We're actually super okay with that. I know my Fezandipiti takes a nice Shadow Ball here from a 252 Choice Specs Flutter Mane. So I know that that Flutter Mane cannot hurt me. Oh, I want to hit Tailwind, but I also don't want to get taunted. But I feel like I have to Tailwind here. Yeah, we just matched Tailwind this first turn, right? Yeah, yeah, there we go. Match Tailwind. Icy Wind gets the first drop. Hopefully we get a couple of poisons. Don't add a double poison with Toxic Chain yet, like on the actual cart. On Showdown I've had many, and they do not like it. That is going to do nothing. Hog. Fezandipiti takes those, my friend. Get me a fat poison on the Flutter Mane. That Flutter Mane will die. Ah, see, that's just so sad. Right, now I think we just play the Bleak Windstorm game, to be honest, like to do more damage. Oh my god, the fact that we outspeed his taunt just with one single Icy Wind is huge. The speed fall is huge there too. Oh my god, the fact we're outspeeding in Tailwind now is actually insane. This lead is actually really strong. I'm underrating this lead a ton. This lead is really, really strong. Like being able to fully control the speed tiers here. Oh, the double poison didn't happen. Fezandipiti takes 17 damage. I mean, Shadow Ball here is cool, I guess, but like, it's not going to help you. Oh, Torn lives as well. That is huge. I need to preserve Torn for if I need Tailwind again, so he actually has to go away this turn. Citrus Berry. Actually, does he? Does he need to go away? I mean, I can always bring my Flutter Mane in that Depot outspeeds and get a fat Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam off right now. That would be huge. I don't want to pivot Fezandipiti out because that will not help us in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, I think I just have to. I have to do that. That has to be the play here. Yes, and Flutter. Yes. He probably hits a Dazzling Gleam here because he thinks he can take both KO with that, or he Moonblasts or such into my... No, he'd probably just Shadow Ball my Pheasant, right? Like, that'd be what I did. I'd Shadow Ball my Pheasant and send the Bleak Windstorm out. But if you wanted to guarantee the damage here, then you'd Dazzling Gleam instead. Pheasant's just outspeeding fully. This is so funny. Toxic Chain goes off again. Fezandipiti doing the thing. Disgusting. U-turn. What? That's the weirdest taunt I've ever seen, but at the same time, I think that's pretty cool, actually. Don't tell me Crest comes out here. I don't want to see no Cresselia. Ursaluna. Okay, right. That is now my main focus. So I would assume we have Crest on the back now. Once again, that Shadow Ball is doing nothing. Flutter Mane is going to take huge, big poison here. Ursaluna gets, you know, burnt, which I'm not a fan of. I think, though, we just hit the Icy Wind one last time. We full-on Dazzling Gleam just to get rid of this, right? The only reason I say we Icy Wind here is because Icy Wind will allow us to do more damage to Ursa. Maybe that's not even worth it. Maybe... I mean, Ursa probably has Earthquake, right? I don't like that. That's not super cool. I do like... It depends what the final mon is, really. It could be Ogerpon, but then even then, like, switching in... my own Ogerpon is better than leaving these two on the field together. Like, I think maybe I Dazzling Gleam this first turn, right? Yes. I want to save my Terra for if I need it. So Torn comes back out. Torn's going to take poison damage and he's going to get Icy Wind this turn. This is not Torn's preferable board placement. What is this? Water? Fairy, okay, okay. Well, you're still going to take neutral damage, so I guess that's not really game-changing. Dazzling Gleam absolutely annihilates Boreos here. The only problem is we can't poison this boy. What could concern me is seeing Cresselia come out, but... Facade, okay, that's fine. He's so annoyed with Fezandipiti at this point that he just wants him gone. And that is what I love, that my bird has served his purpose. He has annoyed him to the T. I genuinely think now, right, I can set the game up with a Tailwind for the win here. I set up with a Tailwind. I Moonblast this Ursaluna. Or do I bring Ogre in right now? Ogre's going to really benefit from being in Tailwind here, though. So, I honestly think... Yeah, we bring Torn out, we protect. Yeah, this is the play. This is the right thing to do. So we bring Torn out. Mold Breaker doesn't really concern us right now. We get Tailwind off, we protect, and then from there, we can even Hex this Ursaluna. Holy, this Ursa does not survive. Spiky Shield. That's a bit of a meh play there. I guess actually you probably want to protect against Bleak Windstorm, don't you? So I can understand that. Abrath. What is my man's Ursaluna set? This is odd. Like, he's got U-turn on his Torn and Play Rough on his Ursa. I can respect that. Terra Fairy Guts boosted Ursaluna is actually horrifying. I do not ever want to see that. No, thank you. A Bleak Windstorm, and then do I risk the entire game on a Dazzling Gleam I need to get damage down here. I think I rely on Tornadus for the Bleak Wind, and I Moonblast the Ursaluna. What's the potential left out back? Oh, there's nothing left out back. Oh, it's just Flutter Mane out back. Yeah, we just do this. We do this all day, right? Yes. Terra Fairy Flutter Mane takes his KO. We just need Tornadus to connect with a massive Bleak Windstorm, and we're good. I can't believe I'm finally using the Storm moves, even though I curse them all the time. But it's like the best form of stab here, so especially with the way this team plays, you're going to be hitting both slots. Oh, Ursa lives those. Okay. Oh my god, Torn gets that, though. Torn gets those. Torn hits those. Fezandipiti did such a good job at just destroying my opponent's, like, Pokemon. Not through brutal damage, but through down speeding and through poison. Just such a funny thing to happen, honestly. Like, Ogerpon comes out like her little funny self. Flutter Mane returns to the field. Flutter Mane is poison, so yeah. I honestly think, like, what's the Flutter Mane gonna do to me here? Like, I think I just double protect it. Wait, how many turns on my Tailwind? 2. Yeah, I can afford to just double protect here for real. Like, get my opponent's protects out the way. Then it's just down to double protects. Ogerpon KOs Ogerpon. Flutter Mane KOs Flutter Mane. W. Oh, we're not even going for that? We're just going for the KOs? Okay, okay. Is that Choice Specs Flutter Mane? It very much seems to be Choice Specs Flutter Mane. It's not going to matter anyway. This Dazzling Gleam takes that Mudrocker out. Stomping Tantrum. Yeah, Stomping Tantrum here. Actually... No, yeah. No, we Ivy Cudgel this bugger, and then we Dazzling Gleam just to finish the game off, you know? Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam hits Ogerpon anyway. Yeah, good, what, 15, 20% there? And now we just Ivy Cudgel and we take the win. W! Big W for the team. Fezandipiti actually doing work this game. I love the animation for Ivy Cudgel. It's so cool. W, there we go. Fezandipiti wins. Against some of the most scariest Pokemon in the regulation right now. Crazy. Fezandipiti. Oh, I'm so tired at this point. Oh, it's Dark Urshifu, my favourite. Would it be Choice Scarf, Dark Urshifu? Ah, yes, Speed Flutter Mane, also my favourite. I think honestly here, you just have to Dazzling Gleam. Like, you don't even Icy Wind. Like, actually, maybe you do Icy Wind. I think 2 Icy Winds knock the Flutter Mane down to size, don't they? Yeah. And we can always just Bleak Windstorm next turn. So, yeah, we Icy Wind here all day. Protect, that's fine. That's essentially giving me free Tailwind here. Oh, we're just double detecting. Okay, that's fair. That was the freest Tailwind I've ever had in my entire life. Very odd. I mean, I guess he's just scouting me, but like, it didn't make that much of a difference. You just let me Tailwind for free. I think Flutter Mane's still up speed, but I'm okay with that. I get Bleak Windstorm now, and I get... Do I Dazzling Gleam here? No, I still think I like Icy Wind here, to be honest. That Flutter Mane's really not going to touch my Fezandipiti. The Urshifu's actually going to have to do the work if it wants to do anything, but my opponent doesn't know that, so... Are we getting rid of the Urshifu? Okay, what are we bringing in instead? Boreos. Oh, we're bringing in the Tailwind setup. We're matching Tailwind. Well, you're never going to match my Tailwind now, because I'm about to Icy Wind you, but... Nice 43 damage from Flutter Mane. Cracked. I'm actually okay with missing Tornadus there. I was much rather looking to hit the Flutter Mane there as well. And to get a double speed drop now on Icy Wind is actually huge. This is a mega W for me. That did obscene amounts of damage to Taunt as well, considering Fezandipiti's special attack is like 90. Right, now we just taunt this Taunt. And this turn, I think... we Icy Wind again. We'll do Dazzling Gleam now. I think Dazzling Gleam's more of a fancy option here. We've down-speeded that Flutter Mane by 2. Protect. Okay, that's fine. My opponent's kind of just stalling for time, trying to work out, but he could just spend that on in the actual battle screen using his move time rather than that. Try and match the Tailwind. Not happening, my friend. Sorry. Unfortunate. Wouldn't it be unfortunate as well if my Fezandipiti poisoned your Tornadus? Wouldn't that be really sad? Oh my god, that's actually crazy damage. Holy. Right, Bleak Wind. Icy Wind. I want to make sure that Flutter Mane is not going for anything on my team field, but no, he doesn't. Okay, and we get the double connect. So Taun's going. My opponent's going to have no Tailwind after this turn. That Flutter Mane is at -4 speed, which is ridiculous. Oh my god. That Flutter Mane is reeling. Speed Flutter? What's Speed Flutter? Nice second Shadow Ball, bro. Pheasant didn't feel that the first time. You've only just got him... Okay, now he's going to feel it. That actually sucks. We need to reset Tailwind now. I don't want Pheasant to go down here. We've got no poison yet either. Okay, this is okay. I'm actually really okay with this. Flutter Mane's probably going to protect. We Tailwind. And we switch out here into Arky. Arky can actually become my terror option this game, I reckon. No matter what Taun's getting this Tailwind off, the Intimidate's going to be huge into the Iron Hand. Yes, lovely. Fake out. Love that. Okay, so the Flutter Mane is going after me this turn. If it's Shadow Balls, that's okay, because we got Pheasant out of there. Yeah, this is fine. Arcanine still hates to take that, but... We're going to get the Citrus Berry proc here. I love that you can't even see my Arcanine. Because Taun's on the screen. Like, we've got Tailwind back up. Since we now have Tailwind, I honestly feel like I can just go Bleak Wind again. And is Terra Grass the option this game? Terra Grass looks really strong here. Really like the Terra Grass here. But I don't know if I'd go for it over Ogerpon. I've still got speed, so I think I'm protecting this turn, you know. Yeah, I think I am. Playing the protect game myself. My opponent's probably going to want to Drain Punch me, right? Oh my god, there's a piece of hair in my eye, I swear. Don't miss the Flutter Mane. Oh god, that's actually bad. It's so very bad. Speed down on Iron Hands or anything for that matter is huge. I expect to see a Wild Charge here. But if you take out my Taunt, you allow me to freely bring in my Ogerpon here, so... Oh my god, the Intimidate actually being huge. That's ridiculous. Right, do not miss your Bleak Windstorm, my friend, okay? Right, and we're going to Terra Grass and go into this Iron Hands this time. If you miss the Bleak Windstorm this turn, Tornadus, Arcanine goes down. You cannot afford to miss this Bleak Windstorm. It will ruin our lives. I can't believe that Fezandipiti still hasn't landed a poison on anything yet. And I also can't believe my opponent has continued to just keep his Flutter Mane on the field, even though it's at -4. Like, switch that guy out and get him back on. He is not having a good time. That is real. That's a huge Flare Blitz. Do we get a burn? Do we get a burn? Do we get a burn? No. Rain Punch, 50, so you'll get about 20, 25 HP back. That's okay. I think with a Bleak Windstorm and an E-Speed, we just take you out now, both sides. So this turn, E-Speed here, just to guarantee. Jeez, that hit like a truck. That seemed to have done... Oh, God, no. Okay, we missed Iron Hands this time. That's fine. We can deal with Iron Hands still being here. He's probably just going to Drain Punch my Arcanine again, and dependent on the roll, my Arcanine's going to live that, and we should be fine. Oh, no, we're going for the Wild Charge. Fawn is gone. Sad. Not a fan. Iron Hands is also gone, though, which is huge. Wait. Hands is not gone. We can free switch into Fezandipiti here and start dropping the Icy Winds. Depends on what comes out from him, actually. Shifu's back on the field. Okay, that's fine. Okay, well, we're Icy... Are we going to Icy Wind this turn? Did our Tailwind expire? It did. Right, so actually, I think we have to dazzling Gleam here. And I'm actually Flare Blitzing this Urshifu, I think. I might E-Speeding it. It kind of depends. I feel like I E-Speed just for maximum damage here, because I think this Urshifu outspeeds me. Depends if it's Choice Scarf or not. Poison, okay, right. That ruins my chances of getting a poison on that thing, which really sucks. It does mean, however, that Ogerpon can take it out with Stomping Tantrum. That is a huge E-Speed from your Arcanine. You're putting the love in there. That was nothing from a crit whip blow. Fezandipiti's going to take out Iron Hand now, which is funny as hell. That does allow me to know, though. Oh, he left. He was so mad that my Pheasant beat him. Flutter Mane, Iron Hands, Torn, it just didn't matter. You just got murdered on the battlefield, bro. Fezandipiti didn't even need to get poisons that game, just needed to be solidly annoying.
Saves hundreds of lives.